WWE 13, Live the Revolution. Hi, my name is Doon, and welcome to another spiffing review by yours truly. This is the second game in the WWE series now. Obviously, previously it was known as SmackDown, and then SmackDown vs. Raw. But overall, this is the 15th WWE game by Ukes Entertainment, and also published by THQ. 15, can't believe it's been that long. The first game, called SmackDown, was all the way back on PlayStation 1 in the good old days. So, is it any good? Has it improved that much since the last one? These are sort of the questions that people ask of these games now that they come out each and every year around Christmas time, and I often think that it would almost benefit them just missing it out 1 year and giving it a 2-year development cycle so they can put a little bit new extra in there, but they have managed to squeeze some new stuff in there. The graphics are quite nice. They've improved the graphics over the previous year. Not a massive leap forward, but if you do put on WWE 12 from last year, you will notice an actual step back. I didn't really notice it until I threw on the old version. Some characters do, however, look noticeably goofy. Shawn Michaels, for example. Can't really see the likeness, but that doesn't hurt the game overall. The big change, obviously, this year is the inclusion of the Attitude Era mode, which replaces last year's and previous year's like Road to WrestleMania, which was kind of like the career mode, story mode, what have you. And I must say, it's a really, really cool feature, the Attitude Era. For those that don't know, basically the Attitude Era was a period during the 90s where the WWF, as it was known back then, was engaged in a ratings war with the rival company WCW, and basically they were forced to up the game and reinvent themselves, where in the past they'd been known for spandex, sparkly, sort of glammy wrestling, and in the 90s they changed it to a sort of a more adult theme, a little bit more violent than what it had been in the past. You could arguably say that this was the best period so far, entertainment-wise, for WWE. I certainly would agree with that. And the mode works great as basically a history lesson for anyone that didn't watch wrestling back then. It takes you through all the twists and turns of the era. Overall, it should take you a good few hours to clear the content in the Attitude Era, and it serves as a great way to unlock extra characters and new attires and stuff. Certainly kept me entertained for, I would say, like 10-15 hours. Another new system in the game this year is the WWE Live system, which refers to the sound processing basically in the game. They've made efforts to make the crowd more dynamic, a little bit louder, and make it feel more like it is an actual live WWE event, which it works quite nice. At times it can be a little bit annoying. It's almost like the crowd are a pack of gibbons that have eaten too much sugar. They just seem to cheer constantly at everything and anything, even when you just stood still doing nothing. So I think they could definitely work a little bit more on that and make it still a little bit more reactional to what's actually happening in the match. Unfortunately, they've still not sorted out the commentators in the game. They're dreadful. Why is it that the wrestling games can't seem to get the commentating right? In, say, for instance, FIFA, the football series, commentating, and that's great, the banter between the two guys, and that works. But in this game, it's rubbish. Like, when they're not saying something utterly shit, then the dialogue is just weird, segmented, pieced together words.
A beautiful monkey flip, and we all love beautiful monkeys. What a brutal drop kick!
That was a beautiful move. Here's some other examples of crapness.
My neck stand up. I love it. This makes one's blood curdle. They're fighting. Oh my lord! He's trying to throw him off the top of the cell.
No, dickhead. I'm not trying. I just did.
Parents, get your kids out of the room. That's cell wrestling. Somebody get these men down. And another move like that, and they're going to break through the roof.
Christ, JR, you been drinking or what? I think the problem's most apparent during the Attitude mode, where there are certain moments within a match where the commentating flips to actual audio recordings from the match that aired at that time. All of a sudden, the commentating is really smooth, and the two guys are working off each other, and then suddenly it shifts back to the segmented weird commentary, and it's really awkward. Anyway, enough of me whinging about that. So the modes in the game are, you know, what you'd expect. You select the match setup and then you select the match type. So whether you choose to have an ordinary match, a falls count anywhere, Hell in a Cell, or Extreme Rules, that sort of thing. It's what's been in the previous games and there's no surprises really, but it's still a great range. There's no casket match, which is kind of a shame. I do miss that, like, but hey, or maybe they'll put that in again some other time. And here we have the selection of the wrestlers available in the game, including all the unlockable. It's like close to 100 wrestlers, which is really great. Obviously, it's just a shame that they didn't include even more Attitude Era wrestlers. Some of the new wrestlers just don't interest me at all, to be honest, so never mind though. And Mike Tyson once appeared in wrestling during the DX era, so yep, they've even thrown him in if you really wanted to play as Mike Tyson. One of the great things about this series is the custom creator mode. You can create a superstar, his entrance, his moveset, a special move. You can even customize an arena, which is new to this game. The creator wrestler mode is cool. I would say that at this point in time, it hasn't really changed in the past sort of like 7 or 8 years. They've maybe added new hairstyles here and there, but they're constantly just poured over the creator mode to the next game. Interestingly enough, you can't import your character from the previous game, your custom character. At least I'm pretty sure you can't, unless someone wants to correct us on that. I would have thought they would have done that by now. It's getting better. They've added features where you can now customize your name and the announcer actually says the character name, but they're still pretty limited, the options that you have. And don't get me wrong, there is still a huge amount of options, but it just seems sometimes like there's a hell of a lot of options that cater more towards the goofy, stupid characters rather than the characters that can fit seamlessly into the universe. But it's a small point anyway. One option that I really like is you can actually go online and download other people's creations, which is great. It adds great scope because there are some people out there that are literally willing to spend hours and hours creating characters, and I've managed to download some great gems like Hulk Hogan and Jake the Snake Roberts, etc. Some people have also even gone into the editor for the logos and created their own WWF logos, which is great and totally infringing on copyright and whatnot, but I'm sure that's what they expected people to do. One thing that I did want to talk about finally is the new feature, the Oh My God moments, which if you meet the right criteria, i.e. get them on a table or get them in a turnbuckle, etc., you can use your finisher to produce an Oh My God moment, which is sort of like a moment that happens within WWE from time to time where something dramatic happens. Like for instance, the ring gets destroyed, which has happened a few times in wrestling. It's a nice idea, but I don't know, it's a bit weird. Like in this instance, it actually ends the match instantly. I suppose it would have been nice to continue wrestling amongst the wreckage, but I'm not sure technically how easy it was for them to do. Well, there you have it. As wrestling games go, it's a pretty great game actually, much better than the previous few wrestling games, and I could recommend it. Obviously I would only recommend it to a wrestling fan, otherwise I would say, why are you buying this game? But I hope you enjoyed the review anyway. I enjoyed doing it, and it's a game I did actually really enjoy playing on. I'll leave you playing out with this rather embarrassing moment from later. The plan was to smash Stephanie through the table, but it didn't quite work.
Get over there, ref! Those thin mats don't offer much protection. And now
We all love beautiful monkeys.